Alright guys, welcome, and we're starting back on round 2. As you can see, the left side will be AQF and the right side will be Gear Chronicle.
Yeah. This matchup is going to be quite interesting.
Yeah?
I mean, since it might be a little difficult since Aqua player goes first, kind of put him in a bit of a precarious situation. But the Gear player searching for that Chronojet Dragon, the Steam Breath skill.
Okay, so yes, Aqua Force. Okay, so we see that the Gear Chronicle player is going aggressive a little early by playing the Steam Breath in the front. Actually, also rode Melon, right? That's a Melon right there?
Okay. I mean, Gear Chronicle is definitely one of those decks that does its best going is sort of aggro early off in the game, and it really has to against a deck like Aqua Force that just does so much ridiculousness early on if you have the right cards.
So what you're saying is the Gear is trying to push the Aqua Force into like a later part before they can start doing like the crazier stuff?
Essentially. He really needs to like see that's the card he wish he had right now. If he had Title Assault right now, he would have been doing some serious damage to the player. But you know.
Do you think there's a chance the Aqua Force will not ride to grade 3?
I don't think he can risk it. Wow, the 8K grade 2.
You forget the name of it.
I forget his name. All I know is like he spins a card for a grade less than it, but since he sent a grade 0 back, he just does it. He just basically gets a free.
So it's Steam Deck Caliburn.
Yeah.
Yes.
Basically, when he sends a grade 0 back, he just gets a free
spin.
Yeah, free spin early game. Great card if you can get it in the right position.
Okay. So I looked away. Did the Gear Chronicle player attack it, or did he defend?
The AK went to the other AK. Okay. Also, the Aqua player opting.
Oh, yeah, choosing not to ride grade 3. Yeah, like I thought. So he's leaving the Gear player at 1 counterblast so that he can't go into a Sea Breeze?
Yep.
Even
smart
if he
play.
wanted to.
Very smart play on the Aqua Force player's side.
Yes.
Has to play this match before, knows what to look out for.
So we see the Gear players also having trouble because they don't want to ride grade 3 and give the Aqua Force the chance to strike first.
Yeah.
So let's see how long this grade 2 game lasts.
It has been a very long time since I've seen someone play the grade 2 game.
Okay, so the Aqua Force is taking a lot of damage.
Yeah.
This is unfortunate because if the Gear player, okay, so he's letting the Gear player strike first.
I'm not sure I agree on the choice of even playing the grade 2 game if it was just going to be.
If he was going to do it a turn later anyway.
If he was wait, he's striding?
What?
Oh no, he's going to the Sea Breeze.
Oh, he's going Sea Breeze first.
Okay. This could work out. He can, if he gets the 4 attacks in, he can get rid of the TikTok worker.
Yes. Let's see what regrets he has in his hand.
He should have a Title Assault, that's for sure.
Right.
So he definitely should be able to get the 4 attacks off pretty easily.
Getting rid of the TikTok is actually a really big deal. We already see that the Gear player has used an Upstream and a Melon as rides. So we'll see what else he has left to throw down afterwards. Although the Gear player is only at 1 damage. Oh, okay. Huh. Okay, so from what I remember of effects, that grade 2 just restands after the boost effect, right? And it gains plus 2k?
Exactly.
Okay.
So
he's opting not to bring out the title, probably because he doesn't want it to be spinned by Chronojet.
Yeah, no trigger on that.
Okay, using counters now, which are now allowed by Bouchard.
Oh, are they?
Yes, counters are now allowed in tournaments, yeah.
That's great. Now I can play Neonic during tournament.
Draw trigger? Okay, 1 draw trigger. So that rearguard is now a
lost
1600.
2 melons to the damage zone. That is a big deal.
Yes. 2 melons are lost, 1 upstream was lost.
And loses the TikTok.
And loses the TikTok. So, okay, the Aqua player definitely is caught up now. Let's see what the Gear Chronicle player can do in retaliation.
I am surprised that the Aqua player chose not to use the crit trigger skill. He must be saving it for a later play.
We'll see. Isn't there a Gear Chronicle Stride that you pick a unit and then you spin it, and then they can't guard with that.
Yeah, Colossus.
Does that apply in any way here? That might backfire on the Aqua Force player.
I doubt it. And he's going for
Fate Wheeler?
the Fate Rider Dragon.
Okay. So let's see.
Interesting choice.
Well, Fate Rider means you're basically looking for combo pieces, right?
Basically, yeah. He's trying to like fish out something, but he could have tried that with the Metallica Phoenix.
Maybe there's no good grades for him to do anything with. If he's popping back. If he's popping back. Okay, that's fine. Alright. Okay, so he finds the melon.
Yep. So goes for the melon play.
So the History Maker and the Melon's gonna be a bunch of attacks. He's trying to. The Aqua Force player is looking for a defensive trigger, which is unfortunately one of the only ways to really combat like Rush by Gear Chronicle. You have to hope for a defensive. It makes the rest of the turn so much easier. But if you don't get it, it's just so difficult.
The Gear player is starting to rack up that advantage with the Water skills. Being able to get the TikTok worker back to the deck, hopefully to use it for a later play. The Aqua player definitely needs to survive this turn if he wants to stay in this game.
Aqua Force player looks okay right now with the amount of cards he has in his hand. Although the quality of the hand, I'm not quite sure about. We don't know of one other card off of the draw trigger.
Yeah. Okay, perfect.
Heal
trigger.
Heal trigger. I believe he can't heal because the horse player is F5. And a Shrine Enabler. So the heal trigger is probably really important in saving the Gear Chronicle because plays with the Uru G-Guard can
Drops
be very
a
important.
second perfect guard.
Second perfect guard, wow.
It may be for counterblast.
It may be used for the counter charge as opposed to just being unable to guard it. But that's really big investment to guard a melon.
Yeah.
I believe the melon was 16?
Yeah, it was just 16.
Okay. So he finds a TikTok.
Smart.
To set it for the following play. We'll see what the Aqua Force player can go here. Since the Aqua Force is now GB1, what's a GB2 stride that can be really good right now for him?
Well, he has a couple options. He has Thavas. He could go into Commander Thavas. I mean, he has, Commander Thavas, Lambros.
Yeah. It looks like he has Thavas, Aristotle, and Lambros.
Lambros should probably be the best play right now. Mostly because he really has to win it this turn. Like, this is pretty much do or die, and it's not looking great on his side due to the amount of advantage the Gear player just got off of.
I think he has to put 2 cards in order to stride, which is unfortunate because you see that he committed on the previous turn.
Yeah, and
the
here comes
grade 1 stride
Lambros.
enable. Yep.
And the Magnum.
Okay.
So,
do you think him not forgetting to use? Do you think he really did forget to use the crit on the other turn? He might have had an extra card at that point.
He might have chose to keep it just because he knew he would need something to attack with, just to get his multiple attacks up. He gets the critical trigger.
Yes. So he's gonna stand. That's gonna be 11. He's gonna swing with it at the History Maker.
Yep.
So keep in mind the Gear Chronicle player has a heal trigger.
He has a heal and a perfect guard.
Yes. So this turn should be very difficult for the Aqua Force to break through. What's the grade 1 behind the History Maker? Is that Takeaway?
No, that is.
I don't recognize it.
I don't remember his name, but every time something gets.
Button and counter charges 1?
I don't think it counter charges. That's not the one that counter charges.
Okay.
That's the one that I think it gives either gives power or it just like sends a card back to the deck.
Okay. Oh, I just noticed these are 2 members of Team SAK. Team SAC. Yeah. Oh, that's unfortunate that team players have to play against each other.
Especially this early.
Yes.
Like
round 2.
These are the matches that really hurt your score.
I mean, but that's fine though. The fact that these are the fronter tables, that means these 2 most likely won their round ones. So that's good for them overall.
The upward player opting to use the crit here now.
So there's a critical on that and Lambros on that. So Lambros gives an additional
10,000 power
to both units.
I believe so. Yes.
Okay.
The gear player still has the heal trigger in hand. Can use it for the G Guardian.
So he does pop it. He uses most likely the Uluru. Yes. So they'll most likely spin back a heal trigger and the PG back into the deck.
The TikTok.
Oh, the TikTok, you think? Oh,
And
no,
the
it's
heal.
the heal. Yeah, it's the heal and the PG. As per usual.
And a second G Guardian.
Second one, wow. Most likely, they're trying to spin more triggers back into the deck. I mean, that's fair. If you know you're going to go for a final push, you might as well have everything ready in the deck for you.
I mean, this does look like the very division of a final push.
Yes.
Both players at 5 damage. The Aquaforce player a bit low on the hand.
It's only 3 cards. It's only the cards we saw drive check.
Yeah, plus the card drawn off the crit trigger.
Oh, yes.
So he can go into next stage. He can go into Metallica Phoenix. Go into
Most likely next stage would be the optimal finisher here. With a low card count, it's hard to block a next stage.
Oh, he thought about next stage.
Oh,
He's
took
still
it back. So let's see what other cards he could go into. He could go into Metallica Phoenix, Chronos Command. Next
I mean, he
stage.
probably wouldn't go into Chronos Command because that would be the cost for Metallica Phoenix most likely. So he could use the Revolution if he needed to. So really, the best options are next stage Metallic Phoenix, or if he has another Fate Rider, he can go into that. No, he's going for the Colossus you were talking about.
Oh, the Colossus. Wow. Okay.
Well, he's still deciding. Like, okay, so he's 100% going into the Fiery March Colossus.
Fiery March Colossus.
So he sends one of his units back and one of his opponent's units back, and the grade that he chooses, the grade of the unit that he chose, is the one that is decided.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I will have to double check on something, so I will be back in a moment.
Yeah.
Josh, you can hold on for now.
Yeah, stay tuned, guys. We're just confirming some things right now. Have a bit of an issue with the deck registration.
We are in Philly. There's good cheesesteaks and that's why it's Philly. That's right.
As of now, there's currently no problem. Must be a mistake.
So
what happened as I was gone?
So use the Fiery March Colossus to send back Arlem and send back Kelpie Rider. So now he cannot guard with grade 1s.
I don't give a crap. Leave me the hell alone.
Are you trying to convert me from my team? I'm Vongola.
I got $20 for you, $500, $10. Bring your own money to it.
So gets the heal, has to take the damage, and that is the first game. Aqua player played very smart. Definitely kept in there as long as he could. But that Fiery March Colossus is a very underrated card that I really don't see being played too much. So currently the score is 1-0 in favor of the Gear Chronicle player.
Yes. So do you think the Colossus was a better choice than using the next stage?
If now I don't exactly remember if the Aquaforce player drove check a perfect guard, so I can't say if that was the idea. It's like, oh, I'm gonna try and stop him from using the perfect guard on me.
Maybe the chance off of the fact that the crit trigger might have drawn a card that he wasn't aware of.
Yeah, basically. So it was an interesting play, but I still think like next stage was just as efficient. 5 drive checks, an attack he can't even guard grade 1s with anyways. I think he was in a tight spot no matter which of the two strides the Gear Chronicle player decided to choose for.
Yeah, either way, the Gear Chronicle player was definitely at a more advantageous position. Even though the Aquaforce player did delay his grade 3 ride in order to try and net some advantage over it, but I think at that point, being at 4 damage at such an early part of the game definitely wasn't doing him any favors. Yeah, he delayed the ride and then no guarded the grade 2 attack from.
His biggest mistake was definitely, I feel like he definitely should have been using that crit trigger when he first played it. I understand like maybe he wanted to get some more attacks in, like maybe that was his idea, but that is definitely like.
He also committed that grade 1 really early, the one that would help him stride. So he had to use 2 in order to stride. He was already behind a little bit because he delayed his ride, so.
Yeah,
so we'll see. It started game 2. It's almost the same thing. We see that he drive checks the Gear Chronicle player drive checks a Melon, rides another Melon, but we see that he guaranteed has an extra one for the attack turns. The Aquahorse player did not get a good rush turn on turn 2, which is usually the optimal time that they can provide multiple attacks.
The Thavas deck only really has Tidal Assault to really go that crazy with it. So if he does not draw that Tidal Assault, he is not doing a very optimal turn for himself. Gear Chronicle player gets the Steam Knight again.
To spin back the starter. So how important is that starter to Aquaforce?
It's relevant in that it definitely allows for more of a rush play from them, because it does give one of their units the Magnum Assault effect for 1 turn minus the boost, minus being needing to be boosted for the effect to go off. So yeah, it's not a good look. I feel the Aquaforce player is definitely going to try and do the grade 2 game once again. He's definitely.
Well, do you think he has a hand for it? Because he really didn't commit anything. He just drew another trigger. We see him put his hands up, so his hand must be full of triggers.
There is a.
Is that Skyros?
That is the Skyros.
Okay.
The front row has resist now.
On GB2 or GB1? Or is it a continuous?
I believe it is a continuous effect. Don't quote me on that one.
Alright, I'll look it up.
Yeah, please. But regardless, he's not even committing a board. So. Gets the draw trigger. Definitely something he needed to see right now. Gear player going into Chronojet Dragon once more. Bit of an awkward turn having the Steam Knight in front of the Melon. So his best option is probably to put Melon in front just to brace up. Metallica Phoenix coming into play. As expected, Gear player opting to push Melon up to the front. That space is going to be dead unless he gets rid of the Steam Knight. But so far, this is like the most optimal turn for the Gear player. He's definitely got all the toys right now.
Okay. So on stream we see that Skyros is highlighted, and it is a GB1 in order for the front rows to get the.
Okay.
So generally a good card because I see Skyros being played, and then like there's a grade 1 that Aqua Force has that has resist when it's in the back row, and it just creates like a really hard way for control decks to try and take care of it.
Yeah, that definitely gives Aqua Force a little bit of more of an edge against some of the field control decks like Kagero and Narukami.
And Link Joker.
And Link Joker, to an extent. The Messiah build 100%. Chaos can still do some shenanigans with the Stride. Aqua Force player using his G Guardian to stop the History Maker effect. Gear player finally going for the Metallica Phoenix hit. Mellum comes out for the third time, I think, this time. Aqua Force player currently at 3 damage. He can definitely afford to take it. And not a trigger to be seen.
So I think the problem that we're seeing right now is the Aqua Force player's hand is definitely suboptimal. We saw him pick up at least 2 triggers before.
Yeah. Here comes the TikTok.
It's another draw trigger that wasn't a card that was draw checked. It was just simply drawn. So it's really unfortunate. Meanwhile, the gear player actually had a lot of pieces that he needed to do his combos. Yeah.
I mean, this attack won't hit or anything, but he'll still be able to get a little bit more advantage off of the History Maker for the Urwater. I don't know if this gear player runs GG, but if he does, he'll be able to net an additional card as well.
And we see GG, yes.
He does have the GG. See, this is what I was talking about. This is Gear Chronicle at its pinnacle. The outside like the Steam Knight at the back row, this is like one of the most perfect turns Gear Chronicle can have. Gaining so much advantage in hand, preparing himself so much for the first stride. The first stride is not going to be able to do too much, but one benefit that the Aqua Force player does have is he has access to skip effects with GB2. So he can Lambros if he has the tools required to get it off.
But what card can you really use here? Because the Gear Chronicle player is currently at 2 damage. So it's hard pressed for the Aqua Force player to get to try and get like a winning condition off of this turn.
I mean, a winning condition is definitely something he would wish for. He is going into Lambros though. And does have the technology. Oh, he has the technology. He indeed has the technology, but necessary to make this play right here.
Would you go for field control here, or would you try to aim for a kill?
Right now it's looking like he's gonna aim for. Process.
So we see a Perfect Guard, a Skyros, and is that a Thavas?
That is not the hand you wanted to get.
Yes.
On the good side, he will be able to draw 2 from the effect of this AK Grade 2. By retiring it, he just to draw 2 cards. So
good. We see a Shrine Enabler and a Tidal Assault into the hand.
If he can make it through the next turn, which I think he has a good chance of making it through the next turn. He's been able to amass a hand advantage. He's got a Perfect Guard. He's pushed the.
And he's only at 4 damage.
Yeah.
A defense, like if things can go his way, maybe a defensive trigger. Oh, okay. So we see in chat that the Aqua Force player has forgot Thavas skill.
Well, he's not on Thavas.
Yeah,
he's on Skyros, guys. He is on Skyros. There is, like, Thavas, oh my god, would have been so much better.
Yeah, Thavas would have been great. He would have been able to knock out the Steam Buffer to G2.
Correct? Okay, I might be wrong, but wasn't GG supposed to go back to the deck? Wasn't GG time leapt by the History Maker Dragon? I'm just noticing that.
GG, yes, GG did come from History Maker and it sent the stand.
Yeah. So is the second part of Time Leap is that it has to go back? It's supposed to go to the bottom of the deck.
I will check. I will look up History Maker now. As you check out this turn.
Yeah.
Is that Chronos Command
Revolution. Definitely not optimal for this. What the? Paul.
Sorry, you guys don't watch. I was changing something on live stream.
Oh, huh.
Oh man.
Yes, GG should have disappeared at the end of the turn.
Yeah, you want to go?
Yeah, let's do that.
Please tell them that.
Yes, I will be back.
Vanguard players, please. We need to follow the rules. The rules.
So the next round, we'll make it.
I mean, I'm sure that the revolution is gonna get like killed right quick, but
Okay. So our Bushiroad judge that is here will resolve it later. So I guess we will have to wait and see what happens with that. I mean, yeah. I mean, this does alter the game quite a bit, but
it does because GG should be in the deck right now as opposed to on the board.
But with him acting as head judge today, we'll have to abide by what he says, right?
Yeah.
So we'll see how clean this resolves, and we'll update you on that as soon as we hear anything. We're moving on back to the game. It looks like... What has occurred so far? I see that the Aqua Force is back at 5 damage now.
Yep, he was able to, as I expected, hold out for this turn. He did lose his field in the process, unfortunately for him. After guarding all that, it might be a little bit difficult to expect a win.
So
Right now?
with 3 cards in his hand, I assume 2 of them are grade 3s. One of them being Thavas, was the other one Skyros. He did have a heal trigger in his hand, so with the G-Guard with the Dismal.
He should be able to get any amount of plays off. He could go for Lambros, he could go for Commander Thavas.
The Gear Chronicle player has a pretty good...
Yeah, he's pretty good. The only thing is that his field has no defense. So that is at least one saving grace to the Aqua Force player.
So is he contemplating if he wants to ride Thavas?
I would not suggest riding Thavas right now. Like the one retire is not worth it at all.
I mean, he might not even be able to hit the 4 attacks.
He can hit the 4 attacks. He's got a Tidal Assault in his hand.
Okay, so it would be a title, 2 grade 3s, unless he discarded 1 for a PG. Oh, okay, so he has to go on Stride 2. So is he considering...
So he drops the Kelpie Rider. Goes for Lambros once again. This is definitely a do or die turn.
So he must have...
Chocolate.
Vanilla or chocolate?
Chocolate vanilla.
So he's attacking with title boosted by... What is that grade 1?
I have no idea.
I am not familiar enough with grade 1s, however. This looks like... it's either Nikki or Stacia.
It's Stacy.
Stacy?
Nikki is the stride fodder.
Okay, so it's either... So... Oh, it's one of the battle sirens.
Yeah.
Let's look at the effect.
Well, perfect guards, the Vanguard. Gets a crit off the first check. Decides to get the power of
There we
Thavas.
go. It's Battle Siren Malenia.
And gets a second crit trigger.
So this unit attacks the Vanguard if you have a grade. Alright, so okay, it's the grade 1 that has resist on it. That's probably the most
okay.
important part of the card. Okay.
Yeah. So now his whole field has resist essentially.
Yes. However, I don't know how much good that's gonna do him.
It saves him
I mean the Gear Colossus.
yeah.
So the draft check we see
He got the double crit.
that's good.
So
we see the Gear Colossus 2 cards left in hand, and the Lambros stand already occurred. So those 2 cards have plus 10k each.
I believe he has 3 cards in hand.
3 cards in hand. Oh yes, 3.
So now, perfect guard. Gear player barely making it out of that last turn. What he draws next is
Okay, so we see that he draws an upstream. Wow, that's a really good card to top deck at that point.
well, his lines are still that one line is definitely not as threatening as you wish, but it's the Chronojet.
It's the Chronojet that's the issue because you have to guard with the zeros. So that is
that is
a
one to pass.
1, and he gets the critical trigger.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
the double crit.
The double crit. That's about it.
Alright. Okay. Well. Alright, so it goes to Gears.
It does go to Gear Chronicle.
And 2-0.
One of the favorites to win this whole tournament.
Yes. I mean, I'm surprised I didn't see Gear the first round, but move on.